I have the great pleasure of introducing Clemencia Caporale. She has been at WEMT since she was 17. She's found a passion and a purpose in preparing others for medical emergencies in the wild and in the front country. This has become her professional passion, and she is a veritable badass. She's recently hiked over 5,000 miles, completing the Appalachian Trail, and has been featured in some news articles being dubbed the Mystery Medic. So it is with great pleasure that I'd like to invite her up to the stage to tell the story of her journey. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. I consider myself pretty dialed when it comes to wilderness medicine and pretty dialed when it comes to traveling. Sorry. Working for Knowles this last year, I taught 27 wilderness first aid courses, which is every other weekend. On the other weekends, I went out into the wilderness and I traveled all over the world. And I have an Excel spreadsheet for each one of those trips with multiple tabs, and I'm pretty organized. I follow the golden principle: plan ahead and prepare. In 2012, I got invited on a trip of a lifetime. I got to go to Thailand with some friends. And the first place we went was Koh Samui in the south. Stepping off the ferry, it was like paradise. I couldn't believe I was really in Thailand. I couldn't believe I was going to be traveling for 3 months. I could smell pad thai cooking on the streets. I could look out from the hostel at the teal blue water. I was so excited. I checked into the little huts that we were staying into, grabbed my towel, and went down to the beach. Growing up on the Jersey Shore, I loved swimming, so I swam out into the ocean. A couple hundred yards offshore, I felt this intense burning pain on my leg. Pretty much my leg was on fire. So I kicked whatever it was that stung me away, but the pain didn't subside. So I swam back to shore, but growing up in New Jersey, I didn't be concerned about what had stung me, and I wasn't in panic mode yet. When I walked out of the water, this is the image of what my leg looked like a couple minutes after whatever had stung me. The pain wasn't so bad. I walked back to the beach hut, and the pain still didn't go away. Being trained in wilderness medicine, I knew perhaps I should go to the clinic. But I did plan ahead. I bought travel insurance. I decided to test it out. With advice from the hostel owner, we hitchhiked to the clinic. It was a half mile. When we got there, unlike American hospitals where you have to show your insurance and fill out lots of forms, the 2 Thai ladies that saw me picked me up and threw me on a gurney and wheeled me into the emergency room, which was just another room, nothing special. The doctor came in while the nurses were working on my leg, and he asked me what had stung me. And I said, I didn't know. And then he looked down at the sting and put his hand to his chin and said, interesting. These were not words I was used to coming from a medical profession. He went back to his office, did a little research, and came back with no clear answer of what was going on. But he assured me I'd be fine, and he assured me since I was in the hospital breathing currently, I should be pretty good to leave. So I left the clinic. I was pretty confident I could care for myself. I had trained thousands of people how to care for themselves. I have treated thousands of people in my career. So I traveled all over Thailand thinking nothing is gonna ruin this trip. No simple burn on my leg is gonna stop me from going to the jungle, climbing in Krabi, bathing baby elephants in muddy water. I was on this ultimate vacation, the trip of a lifetime. I didn't have time for a medical injury. So my visa was starting to run out, and so was the hope that my injury would heal. I looked at my injury and thought something was wrong. Why was it not healing? I cared for it exactly how the medical people told me to. I used the cream they gave me. And I knew I was confident in my medical skills, so nothing I did could have made the injury not be successful. How could something I never saw do so much damage to my leg? Why was I the only person on that beach swimming who got stung? I grew up in an Italian family, and my family loves to give medical advice, but nobody is qualified. The only slightly qualified person is my cousin. She's a pediatric nurse in Boston. So I texted her a photo and said, hey, can you give me some advice on what to do? And she texted back, hold on, I'm gonna consult with a doctor. And I thought that was interesting because why couldn't she just give me advice? She asked me 2 questions. One was it black? And how big was it? I looked down at the injury and I thought dark purple. And then I couldn't figure out how to measure the injury. So I got out an American dollar bill and I lined it up next to the scar. It was longer than the bill. When I answered those 2 questions, my cousin texted me back 3 words, come home now. I was challenged. I wanted to stay. I wasn't prepared to give up on my trip. And also, I wasn't prepared to be the patient. I'm used to giving advice. I'm used to evacuating other people, caring for them. But now I was the patient. I was evacuating myself from Thailand, which I'm a planner and an organizer, so it was pretty easy. I called the embassy to see if I could stay a little longer. They said no. I called my travel insurance, which was amazing. I called my brother, who started setting up appointments in the US. So I already had surgery set up. It wasn't until the plane ride home that I realized the magnitude of my journey, of my injury. I was walking on the plane home, which I thought was a gift. I was getting on a plane home. I started to realize this injury could have been much worse. The only thing left for me to do was care for myself, which I was heading home to do with family and friends there to support me. This is the photo pre-surgery. I later learned that it was the box jellyfish that stung me. If you Google the word box jellyfish, a photo of my leg comes up. And you also will read this. The box jellyfish is one of the most lethal and deadly marine creatures. I'm not sure why I survived. This has not stopped me from traveling. I don't even pack anything extra now. This story shouldn't discourage you from traveling, especially to Thailand, because it's amazing. I know you can't plan for everything, and it reminds me that self-care is one of the most important things. And sometimes caring for yourself as a leader is even more important. I have a 30-centimeter scar, which reminds me that life lessons come at unexpected times. I can't predict or plan for accidents, but I can be prepared. So next time you travel to the backcountry, know that you will be prepared for whatever has come through all of your experiences.